Okay, well, thank you, Chamber, for having us here today. We're excited to share with you a presentation of the Angelo State University Small Business Development Center and some small businesses we had the privilege of serving in the COVID environment. A little bit about us. The ASU SBDC was established in 1990, 31 years ago, as part of the Norris Vincent College of Business. And we are proud members of the Angelo State University RAM family. Our mission is to foster small business success in the 10 counties of the Concho Valley. We strive to be a premier business development resource, serving our clients as part of the larger America's SBDC network, comprised of over 900 centers throughout the nation.
We serve our clients in the small business community through confidential, no-cost business advising and low to no-cost business training. The benefit of the SBDC services is having an advisor to support you as you make critical decisions in your business start and growth. We provide technical business advising and training in all areas in startup and business management.
We are pleased to introduce to you our professional staff, all seated here in a couple tables. Annie Jones, Office Coordinator. James Lavelle, Senior Certified Business Advisor. Certified Business Advisor Alejandro Castañon. CARES Act funded COVID Advisor Leslie Mackey. And Desiree Johnson, Program Coordinator and Certified Business Advisor. It's my honor to work beside this dedicated team of small business professionals who are also former or current business owners and managers. Also want to introduce Interim Dean for the Norris Vincent College of Business, Dr. Tiger. Dr. Tiger is here. And the team surprised me with having my wife here, my wonderful wife, Linda. Thank you, Linda, for being here. Desiree, can you introduce our student team, SBDC student team?
I would love to. We have the opportunity to work with some of the top students in the ASU Norris Vincent College of Business. The Student Assistant Program provides our advising team and training program much needed support, while giving these students the opportunity for experiential learning. The student team stuck with us this year, working through the pandemic, mostly from their dorm rooms, and keeping clients a top priority. I know I would not have survived the year without them. They were working diligently alongside us. I want to just say thank you so much. They've been such a great support. So I would like to introduce Duck Wee Wen, Rose Wen, Catherine Batista, taking photos, and also Sarah Delgado, who was our student intern this semester. Each of them are in various stages of completing their undergraduate and graduate degrees at Angelo State University. I also would like to welcome a few members from Delta Sigma Pi. This group of individuals are part of the business fraternity at Angelo State University, and they do so much to help us when called upon. They're a great resource for other students at ASU, and they also help out with many, many of our events. So thank you for joining us today.
We want to take this opportunity to give a big thank you to all those who have responded to the COVID-19 crisis and made it possible for small businesses to recover and thrive. The response from the San Angelo community has been overwhelming. We know there is still a tough road ahead, and we need to be cautious in this continued recovery. But we see a bright future for the small business community. Official recognition from Governor Abbott, received by way of Chandra Eggermeyer from the governor's office, who's here today. It states, as governor of Texas, it is my pleasure to commend the Economic Resources Task Force and its members, the local public health authorities, government entities, economic development groups, and public servants in the San Angelo and Greater Concho Valley area for their dedication and devotion to protecting the health and well-being of Texans. We want to thank, and also commercial lenders and CPAs are a huge part of that as well. We want to thank Governor Abbott and Chandra, and the whole proclamation is right here. In addition, we owe a deep gratitude as well to first responders and frontline workers of all kinds. Please join me in giving these folks a round of applause. My stomach? In early March, the Economic Development Partnership was abuzz hearing reports of this COVID-19 virus and how it was going to shut down America. At first, probably like many of you, we thought not possible, but within a week or so, the governor shut it down. The small business response task began with a few phone calls from one resource to another, and it became obvious very quickly we needed to create a plan of support and action to assist small businesses through this crisis. Thanks to COCDC and the Chamber and others, is when the Economic Development Task Force was formed. This task force laid the groundwork for a supportive and collaborative response to assist small businesses.
The first step was to establish a line of communication with the small business community. The task force established 4 main points of contact to target what we anticipated to be the 4 major potential problem areas. Those were business owner mindset, funding needs, local government support, and workforce challenges.
Working as a team, we quickly established a web page with many COVID-related resources and was linked to the Chamber's COVID-19 Resource Hub. A guidebook was created, complete with first action steps to help disseminate information to the small business community. As news quickly spread about government funding programs, requests began to roll in. The SBDC, after 21 years you'd think I would get that, the SBDC advising team served as a primary contact to assist small business owners in understanding and navigating the various CARES Act programs, including applying for loans and grant programs, as well as helping small business owners implement the needed COVID mitigation protocols, obtaining personal protective equipment for employees, and understanding the Families First Coronavirus Act.
Since March of 2020, many different programs have been rolled out to assist small business owners with the effects of COVID-19. Over these many months, about 6 pieces of legislation have been enacted to assist small business owners. Along with CPAs and local lenders, the SBDC advisors had to keep abreast of the many changes in all areas of each of these funding programs, including the changes to legislation, to application forms, to the needed documentation, and the ever-changing eligibility requirements. Many of you have probably heard about these legislative programs that have provided much-needed relief to small business community. These programs allowed for the dedication of monies to the various funding programs. The SBDC team has been working diligently to assist clients with each of these funding programs to obtain capital that in many cases help to sustain these businesses or even keep their doors open. There have been various changes to the popular Paycheck Protection Program that was released in early 2020. Over the year, legislation changed these eligibility requirements to make this program more accessible to small businesses of all sizes and types. The Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program also saw many changes specific to the COVID pandemic during this past year. More money was allocated to this program, making the initial EIDL advance into a true grant. As for local funding efforts, the City of San Angelo and Tom Green County partnered with People Fund, a Texas-wide CDFI. They were able to provide local grant opportunities to eligible small businesses within Tom Green County. Applications closed the end of March, and just last week, the fund awarded $850,000 to area small businesses in San Angelo. This program was another benefit of CARES Act funding provided directly to cities and counties in need to make that possible. With the new American Rescue Plan Act, funds made it possible for the Shuttered Venue Operations Grant application portal to open just recently on April 8 of this year. As you know, it's had a little bumps, but keep an eye out for it, which makes it clear that there are still significant financial support options available as the pandemic continues to challenge small business owners. The Restaurant Revitalization Fund grant program should be open soon. So if you're hearing about some of these programs for the first time, or maybe you didn't qualify early last year, I encourage you to reach out and get an update on those eligibility requirements because these funding programs are still available. You can submit the Paycheck Protection Program loan application to your lender through May 31st, and the SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan is open until the end of the year.
Angela Duckworth-Lee, in her best-selling book titled Grit, states those who are successful in business have a combination of passion and perseverance, or what she calls grit. We have seen passion and perseverance and other qualities from hundreds of small businesses during the COVID crisis. These small businesses had to endure lack of customers from mandated shutdowns, customer reluctance, supply chain interruptions, illness of employees and family members, and some employees not willing to return to work, along with confusion about the various government funding programs. We have here a short video of some of our local entrepreneurs as they fought through the COVID-19 crisis. The SBDC is a team of experienced and knowledgeable small business professionals who have a simple mission: the success of small business in the Concho Valley. To be of service to the small business community is a high calling for the SBDC team. The SBDC assists small businesses in two ways. First, no cost and confidential one-on-one business advising, and second, low to no cost technical business training. SBDC advisors are well trained, business educated, and experienced business owners or managers. Early in the pandemic, like many people, we were a little shell-shocked trying to understand how the growing pandemic was going to affect small businesses.
We had not even been owners for a full year when everything started shutting down. We didn't know if we were going to put a for sale sign on the front gate or if we would be able to maneuver through the changes and keep our business open.
When COVID first came on the scene and we started hearing about possible business closures, we fall into the essential business category, so we didn't have to worry about closing necessarily, but we did have to figure out, what is that going to look like for a medical arts pharmacy.
When we first found out about COVID, I think like all businesses, we were a little unsure of how to react to it. We not only have to think about the livelihood of the employees here, but our clientele, our parents as well, their livelihood and their income depends on us being here for them.
We were worried about our financial integrity and whether we were going to be able to stay afloat, and the SBDC really helped us.
The economic injury loan and some of these federal programs have been set up for many, many years, but it was very evident very quickly that it wasn't going to support what the small businesses needed. I mean, the website itself crashed. Our biggest worry as small business advisors was the mindset of our clients. A lot of folks were calling us and they weren't sure what was going to happen or if they were going to have to shut down, and if they were going to shut down, how would they survive? And so I think survival instincts kicked in, and I think for that first couple weeks in March, it was really just being a support system for our clients. And then as information trickled down, through these federal support programs, we were able to start putting out action information. Here's what you can do. Here's how you can get help.
The Small Business Development Center had information to us even before our bankers and our accountants We were getting fed information from them with resources, very open with, reach out, contact us, let us know what you need right now.
You're trying to make decisions about how you're going to carry forward in the next week or two under a very changing environment. And so what the SBDC did so well was they kind of fed me some advanced information, and it was very targeted, very appropriate.
I first initially learned about the PPP loan from Dave Erickson. He actually reached out to me and told me about that. He also reached out to me and told me about the EIDL loan, and was very available to me for questions and forthcoming with information that I wouldn't have known about otherwise.
We reached out to SBDC. I knew it was a great resource to go to. The guys provided webinars, they provided resources on the PPP loan, and then also we looked at ways to diversify what we were doing here. Since we weren't able to get people in the store, what were some other avenues that we might be able to do, and other resources, other revenue streams to kind of help pick up some of that downfall from people not being able to be in the store.
We always like to think we were action-oriented, behind the scenes and in the trenches, working closely with small business owners. We all got to work helping them. We assisted with the development of the Economic Resources Task Force and the development of the Task Force Recovery Plan. At first, we focused heavily on financial resources and programs that were becoming available for small businesses.
Everybody pulled together to bring resources together from all areas, from workforce, that was very important, keeping employees whole, the chamber, networking, mindset, how to help these businesses through this crisis from an emotional standpoint, and then pulling together SBA resources so they are able to combat some of these closures with financial support.
So we received 6 months worth of debt relief from the Small Business Administration to make our payments for us. And it wasn't just a deferral, they're actually making the payments for us to the bank. And to be honest, without that help, we probably wouldn't be here today.
So we are finally back to capacity. We are finally back to the enrollment that we had, the staffing that we had, and things are looking up.
Business today for us, it's kind of one of those things like probably a lot of small businesses our size, we're surviving. We're doing the things that are necessary to do to continue to stay in business, working with our bank. We went into a whole new revenue stream of scooters and power chairs, and so now we're going through the process of marketing that.
It's not just, hey, yeah, we'll help you. It's enthusiastic. They want us to survive. And that's one thing I think through this whole process. When we first got here, we didn't have a lot of friends in the area, and we didn't know a lot of other business owners. And those guys hooked us up with everything we needed.
The beautiful thing about working with the SBDC is it doesn't cost anything. So they're there, they're available, and they're always willing to help you do whatever it is. And so I always encourage my friends to work with SBDC because they're just there.
Whether you're a small business owner and you need help, or you know of a small business owner that's just getting started, our services are here. We're here to meet clients where they're at, whatever stage of business growth and development they're in, and provide, specific advice and resources to help them throughout their journey. So that's our main goal, is to just foster small business success in our service area. And so we're doing this every day, and I just am so thankful that I get to work with small businesses and just see their success time after time again. It really is an amazing opportunity and a great job. Thank you. I just want to say thank you so much to our clients who took time out of their small business to be in the video for us and help represent what we do every day, day in and day out. And I also want to give a big thanks to the Media Advantage team and Live Design and By the Stream Media for helping us make today a pop and just really stand out. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Our successful small business clients all have a few things in common, and we consider those to be some key characteristics of true entrepreneurship. Those qualities are vast, but a few we like to recognize is that our clients are determined and resilient. They are visionaries who are innovative and adaptable, and man, has that shown over the past year. We would like to share with you all of our success stories, but Media Advantage and By the Stream Media suggested you wouldn't all appreciate a 4-hour luncheon. So instead, we're going to share a few highlights and some photos of some other successful clients that we've seen throughout the past year.
First, Jody and Michelle Babish of Old Central Firehouse launched the second phase of their business, the pizzeria and tap room, just as COVID began to take hold. They utilized COSA-DC funds from the San Angelo Business Plan competition in which they won third place. Next, we have Jesse and Daniel Browning of Buttercup All Day Cafe. They also opened during the pandemic, and they are from the Marfa and Alpine area, and we are sure glad they're here. Next, Tacos Locos owner David Solis expanded during the pandemic as well. And that sure looks good, doesn't it?
The well-known Cowboy Up Chocolates was purchased by new chocolatier Misty Mullen prior to the pandemic. Superior Voltage Dynamics, LLC, owner Gregory Gonzalez expanded his business right before the pandemic. J-Bar Meat Co., winner of the 2019 citywide San Angelo Business Plan competition, blossomed over the past year, pictured as owners Jack and Kim Graves in their new building and retail showroom.
Rise Gymnastics owner Kevin Kirkland opened during the pandemic. Preston Wimberly and Carson Beavers, owner-operators of the San Angelo To Go, and the first place winners of the 2020 San Angelo Business Plan competition, took home the top prize of $40,000 from COSA-DC, and has continued to expand this past year. And many of you know Mr. Rodney Mayberry, longtime owner of RM Electrical Contractors, received assistance through the CARES Act to help sustain his business and employees throughout the pandemic.
We all heard from Mr. Ronnie Kahas earlier as a new chamber member. He saw the need to feed the people and started his restaurant amongst the chaos of the pandemic. And then also, former Marine officer and longtime entrepreneur Sarah Ford opened a pop-up storefront downtown to showcase her uniquely crafted and manufactured footwear of Ranch Road boots.
No wonder we call small business the backbone of San Angelo's economy, or any economy. It is truly our honor to serve this great bunch of people. We're so thankful they chose San Angelo as a place to do business. I wanted to mention too, besides your money bags, inside you find what they call tech tattoos. These are stickers. Shop local, buy local, and now fly local. So please support your local small businesses, and let's put these stickers everywhere.
As you can see from our selected success stories, we have continued to serve the business community in all areas of startup and business management, as well as COVID recovery over the past year. The numbers represented on the screen are from the calendar year 2020. I would like to highlight just a few of these numbers. The past year, due to the additional support needed from the small business community, we saw a record number of unique clients. We served 760 small businesses last year. Many of those were COVID related. Another important number that we hung on to this year with such difficulties over the year for so many small businesses was that of jobs retained. We assisted many in keeping their employees whole and saw a retention of just under 500 jobs retained. And as many of you know, and many are now Zoom certified, we had to convert our training program over to a virtual format. We hosted just under 80 events last year, many of which were COVID related, and we saw over 1,600 virtual attendees.
4.7 million is the number of COVID-related funding that has been directly attributed to the assistance of SBDC advisors in our 10-county service area. The Small Business Administration provided statistical data on the Paycheck Protection Program, which was through your lenders, that $136.5 million had been awarded to San Angelo small businesses by the end of the calendar year. So hats off to the lenders and the CPAs. Along with this information, $4.1 million is awarded to San Angelo businesses under the SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, which was a direct program from the SBA in the way of loans and advance grants. The importance of the small business community, well, they are the backbone of our economy. They are important because of the jobs they create, the taxes they generate, their local purchases of goods and services, and their charitable donations and volunteerism. They are especially important for the passion and perseverance that they show all of us. One thing the COVID crisis has shown, San Angelo has a gritty bunch of small business owners and a great atmosphere and support in San Angelo for them to do business. We'd like to thank the Chamber very much for having us today, and Chris with Live Design. I love the size of these letters here, so thank you for having us. We appreciate it.